Hi guys, I'm Bri.
And I'm Alli. This is Offscript.
If you think about it, books are potential scripts for movies.
When this adaptation happens, typically it's disappointing because they went off script.
In this series, we will be talking about how off script they went. All right,
Let's do it.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, we didn't introduce ourselves in our mini-sode.
We did not.
I'm Bri.
I'm Alli.
And this is Off Script.
Mm-hmm. And today we are comparing
Silence of the Lambs.
Woo, woo, woo.
Finally.
Just been talking about it all season.
Heck yeah. Heck, even towards the end of last season.
It's true.
It was my new Twilight, and now
we're here. Let's see if this is another 3-hour episode.
And who knows what my next one is. I don't even know yet.
I know, I don't.
Actually, I think, so me and John just started a TV show called Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay.
It's based off of a book.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Like right after the first episode, I was like, oh yeah, it's going on our list. I don't think it's this level of excitement to do it, but
Well,
I'm excited to do it.
let's do it. Okay. Well, this is season 5, episode 8. And man, it's coming out real quick here, ain't it?
Yes, it is. I'm stressing, Alli.
Oh, man. We have all these done or somewhat done, but not recorded. We're rocking. Okay.
And we got all of these 4 before this recorded, so that was impressive
Yes.
and nice to not have to worry about.
Yep.
But now we've got the rest of the season to worry
We can
about.
do it. All right, you guys. So today we're talking about murder.
Again.
Yeah. Chopping skin off people.
Chopping skin off, skinning people.
I know.
Chopping skin.
But I was like
That makes
gonna
it
say
sound worse.
I was gonna say chopping people up, and I was like he does. I mean, he kind of does that, but
yeah.
not really.
Yeah.
It's more skinning people.
Mhm.
It
And
was
then
kind of super gross, and then wearing
sewing it up to be a outfit.
Yeah, it was super gross.
Mm-hmm.
There's your trigger warning. We're just laying it all out there exactly what happens.
We're telling you right here.
Yeah, but if you didn't know that already, I guess I can't make fun of you because I did not when I heard about Silence of the Lambs. I did not know what the whole thing was about.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't. Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's what it is.
You just knew about Hannibal Lecter.
That's all I knew about. And I thought he was the main bad guy. And he is absolutely not.
No.
Nope.
No, he's just a creep.
Yes. Let me tell you what it's about. It's about an FBI recruit. Clarice Starling has to work with former cannibal and serial killer Hannibal Lecter.
I don't think he's a former cannibal. I think he's current cannibal still.
I guess he is. Well, he is former because he can't be in the...
He bit that nurse's nose off.
I guess he did. You're right.
My question is, did he eat it or did he just bite it off? In my head, I think he ate it.
I would think he would eat it if he was a cannibal.
He's like, oh, no.
Unless they got to him too quick and punched it out of his mouth. My goodness. So gross. We had fun with this series, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so current cannibal and former, but wish to be current serial killer, Hannibal Lecter, to solve a series of murders committed by Buffalo Bill.
But also, he ends up killing someone while in jail. So, like, he is a current serial killer kind of too.
Yeah, I guess so. You're right.
Wow, Google, you sucked with that
Wow,
one.
Come on, Google.
Allie's like, I wrote this.
Yeah, Google. What?
Google, you suck.
What's going on? Oh my gosh. No, okay. You know what? Actually, it's funny because basically, so for our website, I had Googled and put all the synopsises on there, right? And so this was pre-reading most of our books. And so when it came to The Outsiders, remember how when we were trying to take pictures, I read our thing?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that sounds weird.
Yeah.
What the heck? I went back, like, after I have 3 hours left of it. I'm like, this must have been for a different Outsiders because
I can't even remember what it was. I just remember being like,
It's
what?
something about like a guy named Ponyboy.
I know what
something.
Outsiders it is. It's the like really small book that's also made into a movie.
Oh, really? Oh, how funny. Yeah, because I was like, well, it just is about a guy who's feeling like an outsider in his town. I was going to say,
it's basically like a clique thing.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
And then, so that's what I was going in expecting.
I do remember. Yeah.
Well, this is not like that. So I found the correct thing after that.
That's good.
So
because there is no pony boy in there.
No, our website is updated with the correct synopsis. Oh, my Lanta. But anyway, so our author is Thomas Harris and director Jonathan Demme, screenplay writer Ted Talley, audiobook reader Kathy Bates.
I bet that was really good.
She did good. Mm-hmm. I had very much Misery voice.
Oh, I bet for sure.
Yes, it was good though. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Book came out May 19th, 1988. Movie February 14th. What a wonderful Valentine's Day movie.
I would drag John to this.
Oh my gosh. 1991. That's 3-year difference right there. Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, that's actually a quick turnaround.
That is.
I didn't realize that.
Because, yeah, I don't remember the order of things coming out. But
this was the first one that came out. Which is
movie?
Insane. Yeah. Oh no, the Manhunter
was.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the second book written. Third book written. It's like, I don't know. Come on, dude. Can you just write them in order for me? And what'd you do first?
I watched it first forever ago when I was a kid.
After watching this as an adult, I'm like, I can't believe you watched this as a kid. There's no way Riley would be allowed to watch this. My gosh.
Yeah.
I read it first. Mm-hmm. And what are your initial thoughts?
I love it. It's one of my favorites. I enjoy it a lot because it's creepy, but it's like not super creepy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's detective-y. Mm-hmm. Plus, it's just really cool, especially when you think about it. It's really cool that the lead was a female who was working in the FBI. Like,
which was a huge story plot because nobody thought she was good enough type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool that in 90s, they were like, you know what? We're going to make it. So she is cool.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Like, as I was reading it, I was like, wow, that's kind of impressive that he wrote this and did it in a way that it wasn't demeaning to women.
Yes.
And impressive that they made it and also made it so that it wasn't demeaning to women.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Thought he did good.
Mm-hmm.
He was ahead of his time in a lot of things. Because then the main character...
The main bad guy.
Yeah, bad guy. The main bad guy wished to be transgender.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another one. Was it one in the other ones? Maybe it's in Hannibal. I don't remember what happened, but there was something else. I was like, oh, that's kind of forward too. Or maybe it was just these two things, the female lead, FBI, and that. I don't know. I just was like, huh.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, Thomas Harris.
Yeah.
Unlike Stephen King writing about
fucking periods being why
this girl crazy.
God damn. Worst book ever.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right, so why did we pick it?
Because it's one of my favorites. And once I found out it was a book, I couldn't believe that I hadn't read it yet. And then my TBR list is so freaking long that when we decided to do Offscript, I was like, oh, good. We'll have to read it.
Has this been really helping your TBR list? Offscript?
No.
Or has it been screwing it over?
Well, like, this one was on my TBR. I think there's been a few, like, my whole goal with Stephen King has been to always read all of his books.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of partially why I pitched the, hey, let's do Stephen King one.
I'm having fun with it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a great way to do, because also, where else are you going to get spooky? Like when we run out of his books.
But the cool thing is, not all of them are even spooky.
Mm-hmm.
which I would never have thought.
Yeah, so that helps. But I also feel like it's making me take my TBR and put it on the back burner and adding more books to my TBR.
That makes sense. Fair.
So it's kind of helping and hindering.
Yes, makes sense.
Life of a reader.
Yep, for surely. Like I know.
Allie's like, yeah, my TBR is super long.
So long.
It's whatever you tell me to read for Oscar.
I update it every Offscript season. I legit do. In my Goodreads, it's like all that's in there is my Offscript, and I'm like, oh, good, I'm almost done. Gotta update next season.
Me, I put my goal for 100 books a year because I'm like, okay, if I have to read for Offscript, I should also be able to read all of these for me. This year, I was actually like on track for a hot minute, but then Magicians happened and
freaking Magicians. John, dang nab you.
I'm not mad. Like now that I've done it, I'm like, okay, well, I haven't started the show yet, so that I'm mad at, but it's a good story. I really enjoy it.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited that you said it's like voice different characters. Those are my favorite type. That's how the Harry Potter ones are, and that's what makes me love them. So one day I'll get there. Anyways, all right. So we have some Allie's super fun facts. So at around 17 minutes, Jodie Foster claims that during the first meeting between her and Dr. Hannibal Lecter and Clarice Starling, Sir Anthony Hopkins is mocking her Southern accent, which was improvised on the spot. So Foster's horrified. Her horrified reaction is genuine because she felt personally attacked. She later thanked Hopkins for generating such an honest reaction.
Oh, wow.
Could you just feel like, oh my gosh.
I'd be like, oh my God, I'm acting with freaking Sir Anthony Hopkins and he doesn't like this. I'd be, cut, we gotta restart.
But actually, do I have it in here? I don't think I put this one in here. Sir Anthony Hopkins, this was his, like, if this isn't my breakout role, then I'm not a very good actor. Because he's been acting since the 60s and he'd been a B-list actor until this movie.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
Yeah.
How does Hannibal Lecter get you to break out?
Because he won all those awards for it.
Yeah.
My goodness. Okay. Number 2. After Lecter was moved from Baltimore, the plan was to dress him in a yellow or orange jumpsuit. But Sir Anthony Hopkins convinced the director and costume designer that the character would seem more clinical and unsettling if he was dressed in pure white. But Hopkins had this idea just because he had a fear of dentists.
Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, it makes more sense. Yeah.
I know. And it's such a classic look now. At 24 minutes, 52 seconds of screen time, Sir Anthony Hopkins' performance is the second shortest to win an Academy Award for Best Actor in Leading Role.
Holy crap.
In terms of percentage runtime, Hopkins is the shortest as he only appears in 21% of the film. And he won a freaking award for it.
I mean, he's freaking creepy. You get now when I went.
Yes, I got that. I was like,
and that's the noise that they play in his freaking wax room. So like the other unsettling thing too is at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, they have all of these wax figures together in a room. In his, it's just him, and it's in like a gel cell room, and you like go up and take your picture, and like they have like ambient music, and then every once in a while it's I was like, this is spooky.
Oh my gosh. Number 4, when studying the character he played, Sir Anthony Hopkins noticed similar characteristics in reptiles. So like reptiles only blink when they want to. Didn't know that. And they do it consciously. Therefore, in the movie, Hopkins only blinks in special moments very consciously.
Wow. To be that good of an actor, to tell yourself to not blink.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't
think about my lines and then also think about not blinking.
Hello, Clarice.
Bri over here just staring me down.
Try not to blink. That's even creepier. No wonder he won all the awards.
Yep. During location scouting for the house in which the serial killer James Gum was living, Ted Levine, who played the character, was amazed to discover that the house being considered was not only in the town where he grew up, but it was literally the next door neighbor house to his high school girlfriend.
Whoa.
That's spooky.
I would be like, I was meant to play this role. Like, this is weird.
So crazy. Man, oh man.
That's cool.
Yeah. And that's it. Are we ready to dive in?
Let's.
Okay. First, I have to ask you, because I said this several times. Was it odd going from Red Dragon, a 12-hour or however many page book, to Silence of the Lamb, which was only a 3-hour book, but Red Dragon was written first?
No.
You don't think so? You don't think this one was lacking on detail, or the other one had too much detail? Like in comparative? Not that it was like, I wish there was more detail, I don't know what's happening, but like...
I think story-wise, no.
Okay.
Because the thing is you got to think about it. In Silence of the Lambs, Clarice is getting thrown in, and she's not really getting thrown into the Buffalo Bill case because that's a case that's already been worked on. Whereas Red Dragon was you're getting brought in, and you are the start of the case.
Okay. I see. When you say it like that. And Will Graham was also like veteraned. She's brand new. So character-wise, who you're following. Okay.
So it made sense to me. I never once was like, whoa, what is going on?
Okay. I see that. Clarice is an FBI student trying to get a job with Jack Crawford. He tells her that he needs her help. She's going to help him by interviewing Hannibal Lecter. The FBI is working on getting an analysis program running up, and they're interviewing different serial killers. But she was nervous, but agreed.
Yep, that happens.
Clarice, how many pages of notes do you have for this one?
1.5.
That's what I thought. I was like, that's pretty good. Clarice got there and was being warned what to do and not do near Lecter. She goes to talk to him, and at first he's mocking her because she's just a student. They sent a student to talk to me. But they chat for a bit about Buffalo Bill, who's the current serial killer on the loose. And when she leaves, one of the other inmates gets semen all over her. And Hannibal called her back because that was rude. And he decided to help her. And he is going to give her a Valentine's Day gift. It's in one of the guy's cars. It was like Hannibal's 8th victim. I don't remember his name.
So there's a difference here because he doesn't say anything about a Valentine's Day gift. Instead, he basically tells her, I can't even remember exactly what he says, but it's something to do with Moffat. So then she has to go down a detective hole with Moffat and finds a storage facility. Also, there's 2 differences here from the book in the movie that I was like, okay, the first one, I get why Anthony did it because it's very unsettling. In the book, when they first meet, Hannibal is laying down, whereas in the movie, he's standing in the middle of his cell just waiting for her, which is very unsettling. So I think that's a good call for Lecter. The other thing is, right after she gets told not to pass anything through to him, in the book, she gives him her credentials through the little thing.
That's right.
And he like takes it out and like messes with it, bites it to make sure it's real and all of this. Whereas in the movie, she just holds it up and is like, I'm not passing it through because I was just told not to.
That makes sense. Did you also read Hannibal as like after Miggs was gross and he's like called Clarice back? Did you read him as like urgent and frustrated and angry as Hopkins made him seem to be? He was like, Clarice, get back here. I always picture...
You have to realize I saw the movie first.
I know.
So to me, there was urgency in that scene because he knew she wanted to leave.
Oh. I just picture him always, saying 75
Well, I mean, I was just going to
beats.
say his heartbeat is always calm, so you wouldn't think he would ever get like that. But also, how do you get her attention? Especially when a freaking cellmate is... next door.
It's so gross. All right. So it turns out Miggs ended up killing himself. The police have believed that Hannibal convinced him to do it. He swallowed his tongue. Like, how do you convince someone to swallow your tongue? I don't know. Hannibal knows how.
I would love If Thomas Harris wrote this book from Hannibal's perspective, or one of any of these books from Hannibal's perspective.
I just feel like this one would be a whole lot of just
Sitting in a jail cell. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So probably Hannibal, or what happened to get Will Graham? Give me that story.
I know. I liked Graham a lot. Graham was like, F this. I'm not doing this no more.
Although I did love in this book, there were a lot of callbacks to Red Dragon. Yep. I was like, oh, I love that. Mm-hmm. And I'm really glad
we read it.
That we read it in the order that we read it in.
Yes. Me too. So Clarice looked for the car that it was in one of the guy's cars. So the Valentine's Day gift was in one of the guy's cars. So Clarice looked for the car, but it was impounded 8 years ago and it's no longer. But it turns out this guy had a collection of cars. So Jack told her to go check them all out. And so in a limo, she found a Valentine's Day record. And she's like, ha, ha, ha. Because I guess he's a singer. That's what I took it as. He's like some famous singer. Something Valentine's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
She's like, that's so funny. But there also, she found legs. I think it was a mannequin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mannequin legs. But there was also a preserved human head.
In the book, was it supposed to be in a jar?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Because in the movie, it's not. It's just on the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I swear the description was like it in a jar.
Well, yeah, because it was all the vapors and everything. It was all vaporized.
Yeah.
What is it called? Evaporated. It was all evaporated.
Vaporized.
It was really funny watching this scene because my mom wanted to watch this movie with me because
it's a good movie.
Yeah, and she loved that it had so many awards, and she's like, I want to watch it again. I was like, okay. My mom doesn't do horror, so as they're like snooping around in the dark limo area or car, was it a limo? It wasn't even a limo in the movie, was it? It was a car.
Yeah, it was just a car.
She's like covering her eyes. She's like, you know what they find in here, don't you? And I was like, yes. She's like, you could tell me.
Like, didn't you see this?
Yes. She's like, yeah, I don't remember it. It's like, okay, it's someone's head. And she's like, okay.
That's hilarious. What's funny is this movie doesn't even do jump scares.
It didn't do one.
Mm-mm.
I was really expecting a couple. Yeah. And it did not.
No, none at all. It's literally just a psychological thriller.
That was one of my comments there. I was like, there was not one jump scare in that. It was all psychological.
Mm-hmm. I love psychological thrillers because those kind of mess with you more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the jump scares are just like, it's kind of annoying to a point. Mm-hmm. Like after a while, you're like, you know it's coming every single time. This time you expect it's coming and it never does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a total Lecter type of
move.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, how'd that do? Other than the head being on the seat.
Well, yes, the rest of that happened.
Okay. She told Jack about the head, and then she went to talk to Hannibal. And he said he didn't kill him. The guy who Hannibal killed is who killed this guy. So Hannibal's victim killed this guy. And they were lovers. And so Hannibal used to be a almost like a psychologist, right? Would people come talk to him? Like a shrink.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
my brain got confused because I was like, therapist.
I mean,
that's a psychologist, you're right. Aren't they the same?
I think they're the same.
I thought they were.
I think they're the same. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry if we're wrong and we're offending your profession.
Let us know.
Yes.
We'll correct ourselves.
Yes. So Hannibal killed the other guy because he was one of his patients and he was getting super annoying.
I loved that. I was like, I wish I had your guts. No, just kidding. I take that back.
She has to take it back because she's recorded. Hannibal said he's willing to work with them because he wants a room view. And in exchange, he'll give them information on Buffalo Bill. But she's like, no, I can't do that. But she's like, I'll see what I can do. She talks to Jack.
Mm-hmm. This happened.
Clarice was told that she was going to work with Jack on the Buffalo Bill case. And turns out Jack's wife is terminally ill. And if it wasn't for Buffalo Bill, he'd be on leave at home with her right now.
Jack's wife is not at all in the movie.
Nope. On the flight, Jack let her know everything he knows about Buffalo Bill. He told her he wants her to come with him, and because she'll have a new eye for things. So tell him anything that she sees. And details about Buffalo Bill's killings. We get all those about how the victims are usually kept alive for like 10 days-ish. And when the bodies are found, they're always naked, and many have been skinned.
So I forgot there was a flight at this part in the book, but I don't think there was one in the movie. Not at this part, at least. Jack flies later.
I don't believe there was.
I was going to say, I don't even think... He was just in a weird, random dark room. Never mind. That wasn't a flight. Oh, wait. No, he says we're flying there now. That's at the end of the movie, though. They don't fly. But the rest of this happens.
Okay. They got to the body, and Clarice made the...
Nope. Just kidding.
They did fly. They went to wherever this was. I don't know if they flew or drove. I think they drove. Weren't they driving in a car?
They drove in a car, but the thing that gets me is they don't go to any of the other victims. She doesn't know about any of the other victims, except for the dude with the head. Actually, no. What happens after she finds the thing is she goes to the bug guys. So this whole part doesn't happen.
Why should she go to the bug guys right now?
Because they found the thing in the decapitated head. So they just skipped this whole part. Even though this whole part links with it. Yeah.
Before they found it in the body?
They never find this body.
Oh, they just found it in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically what happens right here that they did not do is what we're saying. They go to the body, and Claire's made all the men get out, because there's a bunch of men there being like, oh, I guess I'm macho and I'm going to judge this body, blah, 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 blah. Because it was a little heavier set girl, and she'd, been through the ringer and all this sort of stuff. So Jack and Clarice examined the body, and they noticed 2 triangles cut out of the shoulders, and they saw something in her throat. And after extracting it, they found a bug cocoon.
Did not happen.
Because this cocoon was found
in the decapitated head.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The victim was also scalped, which Hannibal had predicted. Jack kind of blew it off, but Clarice is like, he also said that he would have a 2-story house. And Jack's like, blew that off too. He's like, that's obvious because he's hung some of his victims and he needs a certain drop, and it's easiest in a 2-story house.
Yeah, that doesn't happen in the movie either.
Nope. Clarice took the cocoon. Clarice took the cocoon to the Smithsonian for testing. At the Smithsonian, they discovered it is a moth cocoon from Florida. But it's starting to hatch, which it doesn't happen in cooler areas. So it had been raised here and kept warm for some time.
The thing that drives me crazy about the movie is the bug guys. First off, the bug guys know Clarice. They're like, oh, hey, Clarice. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the book, they're all like, ooh, a woman. And they try to hit on her.
Yep.
And then they also immediately are able to tell what the moth is. Whereas that takes a while in the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mom was like, are we sure the bug guys aren't someone creepy? Because she's like, she's like, they should be like prime suspect right now.
Yeah, they knew immediately.
Yes, and they were pretty
excited.
Yes, and odd.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we are following this random guy now, and his arm was broken, supposedly. And this nice young lady asks if she can help him, and he says yes. And then he knocks her out and takes her away, and it turns out this is Buffalo Bill.
So the girl he takes is Catherine, and in the book, we get like the shortest chapter of this girl hanging out with her boyfriend. And then she goes, oh, I need to go get popcorn. And then she leaves. And then the next chapter is Buffalo Bill doing this. In the movie, she's driving from God knows where. I'm like, no, your boyfriend's just like right next door. So then it's a little bit more obvious why they know that you're gone, apart from your mom's phone call. But yeah, but then the rest of that happens.
I know, this was a moment. My mom's like, don't help him. Don't help him. I was like, Mom, he has a broken arm. She's like, you would not help him. I was like, I mean, I probably wouldn't, because it's like dark and alone and not in a scary alleyway thanks to this and Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, like, if it was like in the street, like during the day, and there were other people around, I would help. And she's like, no, you do not. And I was like, yeah, it's a broken.
What's hilarious is I'm your mom in this situation. I would never. I would see it and be like, I hope a dude comes to help you soon. Like,
oh no, I'm gonna die. Okay, everybody listening to this is like, oh, okay.
I know which one I can trick.
I know how to get Allie. Okay. I guess now I cannot help you. I'm sorry, strangers. If you have broken arms, I'm not allowed to help you anymore. So Jack and Clarice meet up at the Smithsonian because they found another moth. It was in the head of the guy in the limo. So there we go. Mm-hmm. They think that Hannibal knows a whole lot more than he's sharing. So Clarice has to go and find out all the information that they're trying to get.
Mm-hmm. So obviously the moth already happened because that's the only moth you find in the movie. But then, yes, Clarice has to go and find information.
Okay. So now we're back to Buffalo Bill, and he wants to be a woman. And he went and fed the girl that he captured, which turns out to be the senator's daughter, Catherine. And he brought her soap to clean her skin. And she's like, no, I'm not going to clean my skin. He's like, clean her skin. And that then makes it click also who.
Well, no, she sees the finger.
Oh, yeah, there's fingernails. And they know that how does she know that? Was it on the news?
I just know because it was in the book, it's a finger.
Oh, but in the
movie, it was just the nails, and it wasn't in the news, especially since in the movie, I mean, I guess maybe it was because in the movie, they didn't find those other bodies with Clarice. They had already been found. So
how did she know? She just assumed, oh, I'm with a serial killer. So now I know who it is.
Matt, I don't think she what clicked it was he was worried about her skin.
Oh, okay.
He was wanting her to take good care of her skin. And the big difference here is in the movie, he wanted her to lotion up, which I think makes a little bit more sense than just washing.
Yeah.
Because lotioning, you want your skin smooth. Mm-hmm. So he wanted his hide smooth.
So disgusting. Oh my gosh. So Hannibal wanted to trade information about Clarice for information about Buffalo Bill. She told him that her dad was a night marshal and that he died when she was young. And Hannibal told her that he is collecting heavier girls so he could make a skin suit with boobs. And she was like, what? And she went and told Jack, and he's like, we need to figure out more. So this last girl died in 3 days, so they don't have much time. So their 10 days shrunk by a week. And she goes back to share more about her life, and Hannibal did not agree that her dad was a night marshal because he didn't have a gun and he was in a truck. And Clarice's family was given $500 for their loss, and eventually Clarice moved in with her mom's cousin on a farm. Her mom's cousin raised horses, and she found out they killed them to turn them into glue. So she tried running away to save her own horse, but was caught and sent to an orphanage because she was stealing the horse. And Hannibal...
But the horse also got to go to an orphanage place.
Oh,
it didn't get to go back to the farm yet. So she did save it.
Okay, that's good. Hannibal gave her information to check 3 hospitals that perform sex change surgeries and check for their rejection list.
So in the movie, in the book, in this part, the moth got brought up. And in the book, Hannibal immediately says, oh, it was a moth, because she says something about a cocoon. And he goes, let me guess, it was a moth. So then immediately, you're like, oh, he knows. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the movie, Hannibal's being a little sneaky, like, maybe I know something, maybe I don't. And he goes, oh, was it a butterfly?
Right.
I was like, sir, you know who did this.
Yes.
Why are you saying it's a butterfly? And then in the movie, too, this happens, but the whole story with the horses she's not worried about her horse. It's not horses that they kill to turn into glue. It's sheep. Because they did also kill sheep on the farm, but she was worried about the horses, and the noise of them killing the sheep is what woke her up to make her run away. Mm-hmm. In the movie, it's just them killing sheep, and then she tried to save a sheep.
Such a lame story compared to the horse one.
I know. I was like,
maybe
what?
Horses cost more.
She tried to like set them free too.
Yeah.
And they were so dumb. They didn't leave. I was like, because they're supposed to be a horse.
Horse actors cost more than sheep actors do.
Probably.
So Hannibal's cell was getting cleaned out, and it turns out there was these listening devices in there put by the head doctor of the prison. And the doctor said there was no deal going on.
Oh, you know what I realized?
What?
We keep calling it a prison because we were
in the last one, but it is a hospital.
It's an asylum. Yeah.
Okay. Put in by the head doctor of the asylum. Mm-hmm. The doctor said
I realized in Hannibal because it said something about a maximum security asylum. And I was like, that's why we think it's a prison.
So we had it right,
but then we thought we didn't.
So the doctor said that there was no deal going on with Jack and the senator, but he can help him make a deal. And he'll help transfer him to Tennessee to the police. And he'll have a nice cell. And Hamill agreed because right when he said police, he's like, okay. Because they're never as good as asylum guards.
Mm-hmm. This part happens, but another difference here is that when the doctor dude, Dr. Chilton, is pitching this to Hannibal, he brings like a pen to sign paper or something, and then he like leaves it on a bed, and Hannibal looks and somehow gets it, whereas in the book he does not.
Dumb, because the whole point is he gets it from the police because they're not
dumb.
Yeah, they're not as skilled with serial killer crazies like asylum people are.
Yeah. I was mad. I was like, wait a minute.
So Buffalo Bill is watching his moth get ready to hatch.
In this scene in the movie, the first thing I thought when that dude grabbed the moth was, God damn, if you're afraid of moths or bugs in general, this would be a hard role. Like, you have to have some steel guts to be able to, like, he picks it up and, like, pets it. Like, all this. I was like, eee!
Bri could not be Buffalo Bill.
Nope. I can't handle blood, can't handle guts, and can't handle moths.
You're really making your detective list, like, set.
Hire me.
Oh, gosh. So Clarice and Jack are super pissed that the doctor got involved because the senator and Hannibal are chatting now, and Hannibal tells her everything. His name is Billy Rubin, and gives more details about him. And Clarice and Hannibal start chatting, and Clarice shares a bit more about her home life. She shared that the reason she ran away, as we said, were because she was woken up by the lambs screaming for slaughter. And she was escorted out of the asylum by Dr. What was it? It's not
Chilton.
Chilton. Because now they're involved and she is not. So get out of here.
Yeah, this happens. Wait. Is this when he's transferred already?
No, not yet. He's like in process. Didn't she see him in the book before he got transferred? Or was it like the movie where it was in process of transfer?
No, he was in process.
For both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So at this part in the book, too, she had also asked to get all of Hannibal's paintings from his... Now I feel weird calling it a cell since it is an asylum, but he was in a cell.
They called it a cell.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so he had all of his drawings up and she wanted to get that down for him. In the book, they don't let her give it to him. In the movie, she is able to give it to him. And basically the rest of this happens except Hannibal doesn't give the senator a full name. He just gives a name, like the first name. And that's it. And then basically, nope. He then starts offending her. Yeah. And then she's like, take this monster away. And then that's all you see of her.
Yep. Hannibal was able to get transferred, but he asked to use the bathroom first. He snuck a paperclip out of his mouth, and I guess so. We don't know when he got it.
No, it's a paperclip from the papers that they brought in.
Okay, so it was from them.
It is from them.
And so he undid his handcuffs. He beat up and killed the officers that were transferring him. The officers came in and tried to find out where he went, and they thought they found him above the elevator, but it turns out it was just part of the other officer. Gross.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nasty. So one thing I now, I put this note so far down when it should have been one of the first notes, because we haven't talked about it at all. I thought for sure you would have brought it up by now, but that's why I left it down below. The whole time, because Clarice is a trainee, she's worried about being recycled, which is if you don't do well in the program for whatever reason, you have to sit out 6 months and do basically paperwork. And then you can go back into the program to try and train. And so there's always that hanging over her head. And like her roommate's always like, oh my God, what happens if you're recycled? Like Jack's not making any claims that he's going to protect you if this happens. So what are you doing? Mm-hmm. This is not a problem in the movie.
Nope. I do bring that up, but it's like one of my last notes.
Yep. Whereas in the book, it gets brought up all the time.
It does.
But then the rest of that does happen.
Okay. Jack tells Clarice that Hannibal's escaped, and he says the EMTs put Hannibal in the ambulance by accident because he put on one of the officers he attacks uniforms along with part of his face.
So nasty.
So nasty. But I was so happy I finally saw this because now I understood The Office. Are you kidding me? I always was like, okay, I know it's from a serial killer movie. I don't know which one. I think it's a Lecter one, but I don't know. When he cuts the face off the
dummy.
Yeah, the CPR dummy.
One of the best episodes.
Oh my gosh. Stand alive, stand alive. Anyway, so the EMTs were also killed because obviously he was in the, what's it called? Ambulance with them.
Mm-hmm.
Jack tried to convince Clarice that she needs to go back to school or she will be recycled.
Look. Hey.
And it turns out all the information Hannibal told the senator was a lie.
You see Hannibal's kind of escape, but the rest of that doesn't really happen.
Yeah, it was a pretty epic scene.
Mm-hmm.
Hannibal was hiding with bandages on his face. He was going to go and get stuff to change his appearance tomorrow.
In the movie, Hannibal is no longer...
Yeah, he's just done.
Yeah, until the very, very, very end.
Mm-hmm. Catherine is trying to figure out how to escape. And Buffalo Bill is getting ready to sew his suit of skin. And so he is so excited because he'll finally be beautiful.
Do you talk about the videos he watches?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so Buffalo Bill in the book this whole time, which I wish was in the movies because it makes sense, because it's kind of screwed up. Like, oh, he just wants to be transgender, so he's killing women to get their skin. Like,
yeah,
okay, that's weird. But in the movie, or no, in the book, it's that his mom was a Miss America pageant.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Contestant?
Thank you. Yes. Mm-hmm. And so he has a bunch of her videos from different contests that he watches over and over again. And he usually does that right before he's about to kill a woman so that he can feel pretty too. But that doesn't happen in the movie.
And then he dances all naked. Mm-hmm. And then he puts his little thing in between his legs, mm-hmm. which we had the pleasure of watching.
I know. Think about that. That has to take some guts for a male actor to do that on screen.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So Clarice found a note from Hannibal, and then she went back and looked at the dates of the murders by Buffalo Bill, and she was trying to figure out why one of the bodies was found super easy and the second murder, but it was the second murder, versus the first murder he held off and hid for a while. And so she messaged her higher ups, and they gave her the good to go to look into it and just share all the information. And they also told her that Jack's wife died, so don't bother him.
Don't bogger him. That doesn't happen in the movie.
She and her friends start talking about why,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Which is a scene that There's a scene later that happens in the book where she's doing laundry. And that's basically the scene in the movie of her and her friend talking. Whereas in the book, it's just her by herself going through her thoughts saying it.
So Clarice accepted a recycle so that she could continue to help with the case, even though Jack's like, are you sure you want to? She said, yes, because we finally are getting on this. And so Buffalo Bill is trying to figure out how to kill Catherine because he doesn't want to ruin her body.
That, like, the Clarice part doesn't happen in the movie. And the Buffalo Bill part doesn't totally happen, but I'm sure that's what he's thinking.
Probably. The hospital's called Jack and let him know, hey, we know who Buffalo Bill is. This is James Gum person.
Yeah, that happens in the movie. Mm-hmm. But we don't see it. We only see it when Jack's calling Clarice to let her know.
Mm-hmm. Clarice went and looked around the second victim's house and she found out that the second victim can sew. This is when she realized, oh my gosh, Buffalo Bill can also sew because he cut the sewing patches out of the previous girl. He's making a full-on meat suit, which isn't what Hannibal told her already. Mm-hmm. She just don't believe it?
Apparently not. Well, I think it's because Jack told her to not believe it. Like, Jack was like, everything he's saying is BS. Don't believe everything he says.
Okay. Clarice goes to the friend of the first victim's house and is talking with someone that is a friend of hers.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Okay. But you skipped Clarice going to Catherine's apartment.
Oh, I did.
And so in the movie, Clarice only goes to Catherine's apartment and she finds all of this at Catherine's apartment, mm-hmm. which is weird because then she goes and talks to the first victim's friend because Jack, when he calls about James, is like, you got to tie him to Francia because we want to get him for murder. And it's like, cool, you're bringing up a victim that we have no idea about.
I know.
In the movie, but okay. And then in the book, too, when Clarice goes into Catherine's apartment, the cops are there and they kind of are like, why are you here, and putting up a fight. But then they're like, yeah, okay, whatever, go in. And then the senator comes in when Clarice finds compromising pictures of her daughter and is pissed. She's like, I don't like you. I don't want you on this case, and kicks her out of the room. So then Clarice is like, uh-oh. And that's when Jack is talking to her about being recycled.
So Buffalo Bill always did the killings naked, like mm-hmm. he was being reborn. So he's naked right now.
Mm-hmm. We already saw that in the movie.
Yep. Clarice went to the address of one of the next girl's victims' houses, and it turns out it was Buffalo Bill's house.
No.
Whose address? Who was it?
So the friend that she talked to her about her friend's sewing stuff.
Yeah.
Because she was like, this is my lead. I need to figure this out. And she was like, no, I can't help you. Like, there were so many avenues. And then she's like, the only thing I can tell you is that she used to help Miss Lamb do her clothes. And she was like, oh, I don't even think the name's Lamb. It's something else. But she's like, oh, Miss so-and-so? Well, can I get a lead on that? Like, do you know anything about that? And she was like, sorry, I don't. But then I think she went and she looked into it, found that address, and that's Buffalo Bill's house.
Got it. Okay. Because it was her house and he killed her. Right? Was that one of the victims? They just didn't know who it was?
No, they knew all the victims and it wasn't her. I just think he somehow
got her out of there.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, no, it's my house now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well.
Unless she's a victim that they absolutely have no idea about.
I guess we don't know.
Oh, wait, no, because he tells her that she's dead when he comes to the house. When she comes to the house.
I know, but was that a cover story or did he kill her or was she dead already?
Oh, that's true. Because he just says the house got left to no one, so I took it. Yeah. Well, not I took it. I got it. Maybe.
Don't know. So, went to the address, and it turns out it's Buffalo Bill's place. And she knew it was his place because a moth flew and landed on his jacket, or it flew out of his jacket. He had seen it too, and when she didn't really react to it, he knew that she knew. And so this whole altercation goes down, and they're going to the basement. It's dark, but he has night vision glasses on, so he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to kill this girl. And Clarice can't see, but she hears a shotgun going, and then she boom, 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 shoots, and then he dies. And he asks, How does it feel to be beautiful? As he's dying. So creepy.
This happens, except for he doesn't ask her how it feels to be beautiful. And also, all of this happens in the dark. And so then Clarice has to go and find the switcher to turn the lights on in the book. In the movie, when she's shooting him, she also shoots a window. So then there's light.
Yeah. Life goes on and we get letters from Hannibal, and he sent one to the doctor that got him out, basically telling him that he's coming for him next. And then one to Clarice saying that she owes him a bit of information about when the lamb stopped screaming.
So the change here is that it's not letters, and he doesn't write one to the doctor. He calls Clarice as she's graduated from FBI school.
Because she's not recycled.
Yep.
And, you know, talking to an FBI agent is not sketch or anything when you're a serial killer. No, it's totally safe to call, too. But he starts it with saying, don't even bother tracing the call. This isn't going to last long. Then it lasts at least a minute.
Yeah, they could have.
Yes. Oh my gosh. All right. That's our quick little lambs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another fun fact was when Anthony Hopkins sent the script to his
agent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He thought he was auditioning for a children's book because it's called, or a children's movie because it's Silence of the Lambs. He's like, are you like in a nursery rhyme?
No. Opposite.
There were a lot of good fun facts. Go check them out. IMDb. All right. So we got 69 people.
Woo.
We got Jodie Foster, Clarice Starling.
I am so bummed she's not in the next one.
I know.
She's the perfect Clarice.
She did really good. And she's freaking not in the next one because she's working on a project she's really passionate about. And the project never freaking even got made.
That's so sad.
I know.
I mean, that's sad that it never got made, but I'm pissed because she could have
Done
been
it.
in freaking Hannibal.
I know.
And I really... Nope, that's for next episode.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. I'll say it here because it's the Jodie Foster thing. I really think that the chemistry between Anthony and Jodie would have been way better for Hannibal.
Yeah. Then we have Sir Anthony Hopkins as Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
Cannot recast that.
No way.
He's perfect.
Yes.
He's Hannibal Lecter.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't talk about him last movie because we saved him for this one. So.
Because this is his iconic role.
Yeah, so I think he's been doing pretty awesome, all of them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I feel like his character just gets creepier and creepier.
I agree. Scott Glenn, Jack Crawford. I swear I've seen Crawford before. Riley's new teacher is Mr. Crawford. And I was like, why does that sound so freaking familiar? Just been reading book upon book about it.
I also love that it took you this whole time we've been saying Crawford. And now is when it clicked.
Oh my gosh.
I thought he did good. I do wish the guy from Red Dragon was him.
Me too.
But age-wise, it wouldn't have worked, obviously. But
Ted Levine, James Gumb.
I feel so bad for him. I don't know if he's in anything else, but he's so freaking creepy. He was born for that role.
He's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. Anthony Held, Dr. Chilton.
He did good. And what's crazy is, do you know, was he the same dude from Red Dragon?
I think he was.
Okay, because I was like, they look exactly the same, if not.
James Gumb does not look creepy now. He looks
wow.
totally normal.
What else has he been in?
Shutter Island.
What?
He's been in a lot of things. You're like, I don't think he's been in anything else. He's been in 113 things. 93 of them acting roles.
Is he a creep in all of them?
He was in friggin' Jurassic World.
Who was he?
Ken Whitley? Was he the bad guy? Is that the bad? I don't know what the bad guy's name is.
Oh, maybe. That's hilarious. No, he was creepy in this role.
He was super creepy.
But
that's so funny. He's not been in anything else. I wouldn't have thought so. I haven't recognized him.
He looked slightly familiar, but
he
not.
looks the bad guy from Jurassic World.
He does. Yeah, I think he is. That's hilarious.
So funny.
He's also in Shutter Island, which is hilarious because it is the same dude. Because Shutter Island is on our
That's a creepy
list
one.
too.
That's a creepy one. Is that the one where you like? What? Maybe I'm not thinking of the same one.
This is the Leonardo DiCaprio on a stranded island, basically.
Yeah.
Lighthouse.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking of two different movies put together then. 'Cause I'm thinking of that one. But then there's also one, what is it called? Or where it's like the pictures you take, if the people in the background of the pictures become like these like grudge characters. Like your soul gets like taken away every time you are in the background of a picture, and like these grudge characters start happening. Dude, it was a freaking creepy movie.
Was that Shutter Island? I don't think that was. Shutter Island was definitely just psychologically.
Okay. I know. I've seen Shutter Island. I remember it being psychological.
I've never seen that one.
Dude, it was freaking weird. What was it? I'll look it up in a second.
All of that to say, we found out Anthony Held is the same dude.
Yes.
And that made me actually very happy. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I'm glad that they were able to do that.
Yeah, that was fun. Brooke Smith, our Grey's Anatomy link.
Last one for the series.
I know. Played Catherine Martin.
Yeah, that's good.
You got to tell the story.
So Allie and I had just finished our marathon recording, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go home and watch this, and I'm going to watch it quick. And she was like, I'm so bummed. The first two had Grey's Anatomy people. I'm bummed.
Because it's like this one came out, years before Grey's Anatomy. I'm like, that probably won't have anyone in it.
So then I go home and I'm watching it, and then it gets to Catherine's first scene, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute, I think that's a chick from Grey's Anatomy. And I texted Allie and I was like, I'm pretty sure there's someone from Grey's in this.
I was like, what?
And I was like, yeah, it's this character.
It's not even like Dr. Weber was like a 2-second scene. She's the freaking main.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was so
she's the victim.
Freaking funny.
But she looked like a baby. So I was like, maybe not.
My favorite thing, though, is everybody who knows Grey's Anatomy and then knows these series is sitting here as we're like, there's no one going to be in Silence of the Lambs.
And they're like, there is.
I thought she did fine. I mean, she's not my favorite actress, but
yeah, same.
For the role, she was fine.
Yeah. I liked her hair. Her hair was cute, like 80s, 90s. Yeah. Hairstyle. Until she was a victim. Then she was trapped and her hair was limp.
I freaking hated her though. But this was like not her choice. This was a director choice, I'm sure. Freaking like screaming at Clarice Clarice is like, stop. I'm sorry.
Well,
I know I would be terrified, right?
But in the book, she did that too.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's straight from the book.
Okay. I just hate her. I'm like, shut up. I'm like,
no, that's exactly what I mean, I get it. You're down in a hole. You want to get out of the hole, and there's you see your person. But at the same time, think about the fact that she is now fighting this dude.
Right. But like, okay, you come up here and then you have to fight this guy too. Like, just wait there safely.
Yeah.
You also didn't talk about how in the movie she freaking got Precious down in the hole and was gonna kill the poor dog. Did she do that in the book too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I didn't write it. I wasn't wanting to, I guess.
And then you're the one that brought it up. I forgot because that happened in the book and movie, so I wasn't thinking about.
Awful. I really was like, I do not remember. I blocked it out in the book then because I was like, she's gonna kill the dog. Oh my gosh.
No, she was just faking it all.
I know.
Because she was like, he's totally fine, but I'm going to tell him that the leg's broken. Because if I have his dog, he's got to let me up to let the dog up.
Poor dog. But the reason I mentioned that is because Darla plays Precious.
I love that you're not going to talk about Barney.
I'll talk about everybody, but I just talked about Precious, so I figured I usually keep the pets for the end. But so then we have Frankie Faison. Did we think Faison as Barney?
He did good.
I liked him. So that's it. That's all our cast. Is the theme of the book and the movie the same?
Absolutely.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Do the characters stay true to how they're written in the book?
Absolutely.
I think so. And what do you prefer?
This one's hard for me, actually. Like, it's a very close.
They're so accurate, both of them.
Mm-hmm. They really are. But I have to go movie because I love the movie.
I think I'm also going to go movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it was fun to see
all the bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. There were details of the book I liked way more.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked seeing
it come. Well, also, it's classic.
that too.
This is what I wish horror movies were today. That's why Long Legs. That's why everyone calls it the nod to Silence of the Lambs, because it's very much like they have a jump scare in there, but it's very much thought provoked rather than jump scare central. And
so one of the things I saw, you'll have to let me know. I can't remember it. One of the fun facts was that whenever Clarice was talking, it was just her, she always looked off screen because we were never supposed to be Hannibal. We were supposed to be there. But whenever Hannibal was talking, he looked
was front
at
and center
the screen because we're in Clarice's point of view. So,
that's hilarious. I actually caught that this time, but I was thoroughly confused because I was like, how come he's looking at me, but she's not?
So it was a director choice.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if you remember, did they do something like that with...
I know they did a lot of close-ups in that movie. A lot of close-ups, but I can't remember.
Yeah, we went and saw Long Legs, which is freaking weird.
It was good. I liked it.
I know, but it was just weird with it being Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yeah. It was just... I didn't want to see that movie. I'm not a Nicolas Cage fan, so I didn't want to see it. But then Sierra told me, she was like, you have to see it. And I was like, oh, shoot. I don't have anyone to see with Allie come.
And I was like, oh, gosh.
I was like, it's Nicolas Cage.
It ended up being all right. It was spooky.
Mm-hmm.
It was spookier than Silence of the Lambs.
For sure. But it's just like I said, I wish this is what horror movies were today.
Mm-hmm. Would you recommend it to a friend?
Absolutely.
Yep, I think so.
Both of them, all of them. Do it, guys.
Have fun. And it's good. Like, as we were saying, it's a horror movie, but it's not. So you can watch this anytime. It's not an October.
Yeah, exactly. It's really not. We finished.
Ta-da!
Again, we're at the end of a book I have been waiting for so long.
Such a bittersweet moment.
It is.
We have one more in the series, though.
Thankfully.
Yes, yeah. So hopefully you enjoy it.
So far I am.
Okay. Well,
but good. Of course I'm at the part where I'm like, what the?
I don't care. All right. Okay, you guys, we got some website for you.
Yeah, some website.
Some website. Like some pig. And it's officially done. I fixed it.
We have our question and answers up now.
Yes. Look at that. 10 questions and answers just from us.
Check it out.
Yep.
At offscript253.wixsite.com/offscript.
And there is where you can rate, subscribe, review. You can do that on your podcast apps. You can do that on our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want.
Let us know what you think.
For sure. Season 6 listener picks.
Yeah. We've had to make some changes. Which makes me very happy because I get to push off Lord of the Rings again.
We know that Lord of the Rings is a huge listener pick, and we are going to definitely do it because it's also an Allie pick. I have been wanting to read it so much, and I know I'm not going to like it nearly as much as the movies because the movies are my favorites. But
we didn't realize how long the books were.
I mean, we knew they were long, but holy cow.
20 hours a piece.
Yes.
I think one of them was like 22 hours.
And you guys.
Or 23 hours.
With how, like, we're getting ahead in our reading, but like.
Not that far.
Not that far that we can sit down and hunker and do
3 20+ hour books back to back to back.
A week each. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with The Hobbit.
Yeah.
That's a nice one, but that also means we have two
more
more
slots.
Yeah, 2 more opening slots because
Yeah.
3 movies, but it is 1 freaking book, people. So
You'll hear a lot of film thoughts from me.
So that gives you a couple more spots. I don't know how many we have left now, but come pick them.
I think now 6.
Okay, look at that. Come do it.
But I haven't counted recently, so
I know.
we'll figure it out next episode.
Sounds good.
All right.
Wednesday.
We got another mini-sode coming at you.
Yes, we do.
Unless life gets crazy.
Very possible. And Monday we got Hannibal.
How sad. We're wrapping up this series.
I know.
This was actually a really fun series.
I enjoyed it, actually. Yeah. It was a good one.
I think so. All right. With that, Silence of the Lambs went off script. Bye.
Thanks for sticking with us.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, we would greatly appreciate it if you gave us 5 beautiful stars, reviewed, and subscribed.
You can also follow us on Facebook at Offscript, on Instagram at Offscript Podcast 21, and on TikTok at Offscript_pod.
Shoutouts to Madame Ashen Creations for our adorable logo art.
And Adam Daniel for our incredible theme song.
And to Creative Cinephile Productions for producing our podcast.
See you next time.